Welcome back to another episode of Why Western. I'm your host, John Garcia, Assistant Athletic Director of Communications, and I am joined here with Kam Utendorf, member of the softball team. Kam, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Super stoked to have you on the Why Western podcast today. So just so you're a little bit more familiar with Why Western, with this podcast, our hope is to kind of get to know you a little bit better. So talk about, your high school days, your early playing career, transfer portal stuff, and kind of ultimately why you chose Western and why it sticks out compared to other schools. And so, a little bit about you: Columbus Grove, Ohio. And so, is that where the softball passion started for you?
Yeah, it definitely started back in my roots. Small town. It's kind of sports coded for our town, and all my siblings were pretty involved with that. So my brother and sister were pretty big in baseball and softball, and it kind of started with just wiffle ball in the front yard, and
Just
it
just
got really
just jogging. Yeah.
competitive. Yeah, and so it's kind of where my love started for it, and it just grew as I got older.
And so you started really young. So you said for the most part, your whole family
Yeah,
played either baseball or softball and just kind of
yeah.
grew into that. And so with that being said, when did you kind of start playing a little bit more competitively, like maybe club and
Yeah, I was kind of really into like showing livestock growing up. So that was basically my main priority,
yeah,
and sports were kind of just
on the
there.
side? Yeah,
Yeah, and it was my sophomore year of high school. I kind of stepped down and I was like, "Hey, I really want to do this. I think it'd be fun." And my dad was all for it, which I'm forever grateful for. I mean, it's a lot of time and money, and he said, "Yeah, let's do it." So that's when I started really playing competitively, and I kind of just fell in love with it and realized maybe I could go on and do this more, and I could enjoy 4 more years of this in college.
for sure. And so you said sophomore years when you kind of, for lack of a better
Yeah,
term, locked in and was like, all
yeah,
right, softball's thing. So was it your sophomore year that you realized like, oh, I could do this, or was it, when you locked in, maybe a year later, you're like, okay, like I'm good enough to kind of hang.
yeah. I think there's a big jump from high school ball to college
Oh,
ball.
for sure.
So I mean, finding success first 2 years of high school ball, I was like, okay, this is good. I'm good around here, but am I good on a wider scale? And playing travel ball and seeing some girls from across the country and playing against them and saying like I can hang with a lot of these girls and compete with them. I think that is when it settled in my mind that I could go to college and enjoy it and compete.
For sure. And then for you, here you played shortstop.
Yeah.
Throughout high school, was shortstop still position, or were they throw you all around,
Oh.
or what was kind of?
I my freshman year I played third base, and then I played shortstop, and then my senior year I ended up having to pitch for us.
Oh man.
So that was definitely a piece of a little bit of adversity trying to navigate through that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I wouldn't change it. I think it was a blast. I mean, I was just there to have fun and prep for college my senior year and just win some games.
for sure. And so what about shortstop kind of spoke out to you? Like what made you lock in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
position?
I mean it's super high intensity
Yeah,
over there, I would say. I mean, you never get a playoff, really. I mean, nobody does, but you have to be on lockdown every single play, and it's a lot. I think it's just very high intensity, and I love the adrenaline rush. I think that's one of the biggest things. It's so just critical, and you need a solid shortstop to kind of hold your infield together a lot of the time. So being able to kind of be that, okay, like it's a moment of pressure, like 9 times out of 10, I feel like I'm going to be able to succeed here or do something that's going to keep the team up.
for sure. Awesome. And so you brought up, sophomore year, you kind of locked in and gone from there. So at what point did you start kind of like hearing, the chatter from other college teams? Like, when did that kind of start for you, like, with that recruiting process?
Yeah, I got some interest my junior year, but it was just a lot of local schools, which is
Gotcha.
great. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's exciting regardless of what division or level is interested in you. And I didn't really want to stay close to home. That was one thing that my dad had always pushed was for us to go out and see the world and make a lot of memories. And so I wasn't satisfied with that. So I ended up getting some interest from Blackhawk, and I had reached out because I saw they had a really good ag program, which was what I wanted to start in. And that all worked out, and coach wanted me to come on a visit, and it was just it's history from there.
Yeah, yeah. Heck yeah. And so went to Blackhawk, was there for a year.
Yeah.
Then you left, went to Valpo. And so how did transition from Valpo to Ken, to here now? How did that kind of, come into to place?
Yeah, I obviously when you're going JUCO to NCAA institution, you don't have to formally enter a transfer portal. So it's kind of at the end of the spring, they were interested, and I was like, you know what? Like I think JUCO is very blue collar. It's hard work. I mean, you have a lot. It's a lot. It's high intensity. So
For sure.
coming from that to a Division 1, it was a scary jump, but I think JUCO prepared me for the
Just
last
ready to
3
lock
years.
in. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it was a lot of hard work. It's very blue collar, which I love. I love that mindset. So going to Valpo, it was a change. Obviously, because some of these girls are coming straight to a D1, so they didn't really understand that like I have to work hard every day.
Yeah. And you were able to see that grind. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that really, really did help in the end. I think that paid off. So I think it was a big jump just competition wise a little bit. I think the pitching it's harder. You're getting different sequences, you're getting different ways of attacking. The girls are stronger and they're faster. So having to adapt into that, I think was probably the hardest part was being able to say, okay. I mean, going from JUCO, I felt kind of like a big fish in a small pond at times. And then going into the D1 pool, you're kind of trying to fight for
Yeah.
a position in that pond. So I think it would be just the environment and the kind of competition you're facing. I think JUCO, it's competitive. You're facing a lot of girls who will be at D1 over my career. I've played a lot of girls I played at JUCO. So it's kind of fun seeing them and their journey after 2 years and not seeing them. But I mean, it's just overall you're facing girls who are competitive and they are they started off there. So they didn't really have that blue collar journey up.
For sure. And I think that's super cool to be able to see that because I think a lot of kids sometimes think like, oh, it's D1 or bust. Like,
Yeah.
and to be able to, go JUCO, kind of build your career to
Yeah.
to where you're at now and to be able to really just kind of come in ready to go where a lot of people just, oh no, I made a D1, like I'm
Absolutely.
chilling.
Yeah.
Um, so with that being said, when did Western kind of come into the map for you?
Yeah, so I decided to hit the transfer portal after my sophomore season, and I actually spoke with Coach Goller over that summer, and really great conversations. I was really interested in Western, and I ended up having a school that was closer to home reach out, which at that point in time I was so blinded by being close to home because I'd felt so far for a while, and I ended up deciding to go to another school, even though a piece of my heart was telling me to come here for my junior
For sure.
season. And I didn't bite the bullet on it and chose that school that was closer to home.
And so you chose a school that's closer to home, and then it doesn't work out there.
Yeah.
Your differences and so on and so forth. And so you end up getting an opportunity to come back to Western. So how did
Yeah.
that kind of play out?
Yeah. I entered the portal after my junior year pretty defeated mentally. And so I didn't even really know if I wanted to continue on. And I immediately thought of Coach Goler and Western and thought about reaching out. And I almost didn't because I was like, I almost came here last year. Is it worth it?
Yeah,
Is this going to be humbling? And I mean, your dollar value as an athlete, it can go up and down depending on the year and what the team needs. So I didn't know if I would be worth value to this team this year. And I sat down one night and I was like, I'm gonna reach out. Like what does it hurt? And she was more than willing to talk, which I was grateful for. And we had a good conversation and kind of talked about what role I would have, which at that point in time I was so open. I could have been a pitcher again and I would have been willing to come. So we had a good conversation and at that point I didn't see myself wearing anything but purple. So
heck yeah,
I kind of just I went on some other visits, but I was the whole time I'm like, I know where I need to go. And then I gave her a call and I was like, let's do it.
that purple and gold,
Yeah.
awesome. I love that. Just no other color but
Oh
purple.
yeah.
Um, so with that being said, obviously your first plan was, be close to home.
Yeah.
That didn't work out. And so what were kind of some of the biggest things at that point that you were looking for in a program?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to feel like a family environment. I also wanted to have a nice break in who I am as a person compared to an athlete. I didn't want to just be seen as an athlete. And I knew in coming here that I would be seen as a person first, regardless of if I have a good game or a bad game. And that is exactly what it has been. And that's what it was pushed to me as. And that is huge for me. I am so grateful for that kind of experience. So coming in, I just wanted to be seen as a person first. And that I think that kind of stems from just the past few years of the programs I was at. I really realized what mattered the most to me. And it was having that break and understanding it's not who I am, it was just something that I do. So kind of having that different outlook and understanding that I'm a person first. I'm Cam first, and then I'm
Yeah.
22. And I liked that, and that was my biggest thing that I was looking for.
That's awesome to hear, honestly. Um, I think with our program here, we do a good job at trying to put student athletes first, and
Absolutely.
so hearing that is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
With that being said, obviously you were transitioned into Western, so you we spoke off screen, and you brought up that you came to on a first visit
Yeah.
before you transferred to that, or before you committed to that one school that was closer to home.
Yeah.
And so how was that first visit? Obviously you didn't come immediately, came a year later, but how was that first visit for you?
I mean, it was really good. I loved it. I thought campus was cool. I wasn't really set on having a big campus or small campus. So, I mean, that factor, it was nice. I thought Western was a good enough size where I wouldn't feel like I was at a one building college, but I also wasn't at a giant university where I'd be walking 30 minutes
Yeah, yeah,
to each building. So, I mean, yeah, it was a great visit and it was very inviting. The coaching staff was just very warm and welcoming and also just very blunt, which is something I love from people, is just being able to be blunt and being straightforward on what they expect of you, what they are going to be treating you like. So, I mean, and at that point in time, I didn't know the value of that yet. And so, I mean, looking back on that, yeah, I had a great visit and I didn't even come on a visit after my junior year because I said, I think I remember it pretty well. I mean,
yeah.
phone calls will suffice, but I mean, yeah, so it was kind of like a full circle moment and finding that picture I took when I was here on my visit the first time. So, and I look a lot different, which is good for me because I think I had a lot of growth just in general and understanding that I mean, yeah, that first visit was great and it stuck with me even in times when I was at another school.
For sure. And so for you, was there a specific moment when you realized like this is the place, like this is where I'm supposed to be? Or
Yeah.
has that kind of built over time and kind of solidified? Like how has that been for you?
Yeah, I mean, coming in as a senior transfer, it's kind of hard. It's a hard dynamic. Played a lot of college games. Probably consider myself a veteran. So that's kind of a hard dynamic as because we have a lot of veterans on this team. So coming in and you've developed this kind of leadership position on other teams and just kind of that like that kind of bite that you kind of get when you're older and you're more developed and understanding that that might not be what they need. So I think coming in and every single girl warm arms and open welcomes for me. I think that was the moment. I mean, I was on campus for a month and I was like, this is right. And that was just purely because I was treated like a person and they loved me for who I was, staff and team, and just the way that they accepted me. And I mean, because coming in as a transfer, you can be seen as competition pretty easily. And the fact that not a single person made me feel less for coming in wanting to compete. It was pure love and that's something I couldn't have asked for any better because you never really know what you're going to get from a team because it could be oh well she plays my position. And
For
I
sure, yeah.
never felt a single ounce of that. It was just pure like we're so glad to have you.
They just
You're
wanted
awesome.
you here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's awesome to hear. So for you, obviously, I think it speaks for itself with all schools that you've been involved in. Like you're a well sought out player, and people wanted you around. And so, who helped you kind of make that decision to ultimately commit to Western?
Yeah, my dad has always told me follow your heart and he's always said I'm going to support you regardless. My family definitely played a big role in it. They kind of told me if this feels right, do it. Life's too short to not take a jump. So, I mean, my dad definitely helped a lot. He said I think this will be good for you. Obviously, my family was a bit hesitant after seeing the past few years and kind of saying, is this what you want? Like, is it worth it? Or are you just trying to go finish it out because that's what you think you need to do? And it really wasn't it was a joint decision of everyone saying, if you're happy, like go for it. And I just couldn't in good conscience end my career on the note it would have been on. And I just thought it was good. I mean, it was dark waters. I didn't know what I was jumping into. It could have turned into the same thing and it would still be worth it to me.
For
But
sure.
yeah, it was definitely family decision. And but at the end of the day, they said it's your life, you pick. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And so, with that being said, the big question, and I know you touched base on it a little bit, like why Western? Like, what
yeah.
made it stand out compared to those other schools?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a really great coaching staff here. I think there's a lot of really good information and just things that they teach here and they preach. I think we have really good core values of just we stay together and we're going to be respectful and we're going to be loved regardless. I think that was probably the biggest piece is that I knew with this coaching staff I would get treated like how I wanted to and be seen as a person and not a player. And so I mean, that stuck out and just the opportunity to graduate on time, that was also huge for me. I still would have came if I wasn't going to graduate on time, but that was a plus.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean, definitely that. And then just kind of trying to see how the girls interacted and just trying to catch a vibe of how they were. And it seemed great. And I can say now it is great. I mean, that's my family. But yeah, definitely I would just say just the way the staff carries themselves and teaches the game and teaches how to be a strong woman in the world regardless. So I would definitely say the staff was one of my biggest reasons for saying like, yes, like this is it. I'm gonna be this is a family. It's not gonna be my team.
for sure. With that being said, all these things, it's awesome to be able to hear like how Westerns kind of help you
Yeah.
for success, and help you become a better player overall. So obviously we've talked a lot about kind of the athletics and how
Yeah.
Western has helped you out there. How has Western helped you set you up for success, in the classroom?
Yeah. I mean I love the class sizes. I think it's a lot easier to make a relationship with your professor, which in turn I think it's easier to learn the material on a deeper level. It's easier to ask questions, especially compared to being in a giant auditorium with 300 other kids. So I think that's great. And I think we have a really good academic department who helps like they help athletes really well. I think there's like study tables and options for just coursework if you need help. I think that's really great. I know a few my teammates do some tutoring, so I mean that's the tutoring offers and stuff like that. There's a lot of resources within our academics department that definitely will set anyone up for success. So I think those things are just really good, and I haven't had any problems really with academics. I think, and that's because if I would, I know that I have a good
For
department
sure.
behind me.
Yeah, you got the plug right there, ready to help
Yeah.
out whenever you need to. And so, with that being said, our next segment is kind of more rapid fire questions for
Okay.
you. And so, these questions are about just your experience here. Some
Okay.
are about your teammates. So it's more fun, lively. But with that being said, the first question is, who is your favorite teammate?
That's really hard. I think every single person on this team brings something to the table that is just next level. I got to shout out my roommate Kennedy. She's my rock. She's awesome to be around. But
Shout out Kennedy.
shout out Kennedy. But I will say probably favorite teammate. And it's kind of for just like an emotional reason. I think Peyton Brown is an absolutely incredible teammate. And that is just purely based on the fact that coming in, like she is like our reigning player of the year, like great year. I mean, that's awesome. And I think that's incredible. I mean, she was our shortstop last year, and that was a conversation we had within the first week. I was like, I don't care where I play. Like I wanna play and have fun. And she's like, me too. And I'm like, okay. Which
Same, yeah.
is it's that was weird. And I didn't really know what I was gonna get from that. And I think within the first week I knew the character that she had and who she was because very easily she could have looked at me in a negative way. And I mean, just having a teammate like that, it's awesome. And I mean, every single day, first few weeks of practice, we were showing up, competing, and it was never malicious towards each other. It was
Yeah, just want to
pure,
make it
just
better.
absolutely. It was like, all right, like I'm gonna be better than you today. Like I'm gonna be better than you today. And I think that's just something that money can't buy.
Yeah, healthy
Having a teammate
competition.
like
Yeah,
that. And I mean, to this day, she'll still sit here and be like, this is just so fun. Like I'm just excited to be able to play. And I'm like, how do you have such an incredible athlete with such an incredible mindset? Money can't buy that.
for sure.
So absolutely, I would say Peyton, just purely based off of the way she carries herself and how she's looked at this year, and with all the changes we've had and the people we've brought in, I absolutely hands down.
Awesome. Next question is, what is the hardest practice drill?
Hardest practice drill. Well, I would have to go with sometimes we'll do like a timed competition, so everyone has to do a task and it knocks off like a punishment for the end, whether it's like push-ups or like a pull or
Yeah.
whatever. And those that gets pretty intense. Everyone gets pretty hyped up for that one. I mean, we've never really done bad on it. I think the most we've had is maybe like three or whatever. But um, yeah, probably that one because I think other than that, we really focus on just getting good quality reps in, which is another thing I really like. It's not like we're going out there to just do circuits and run around and
Yeah.
just get tired.
You're there to work.
Absolutely, we're there to get a job done. So, but yeah, I'd probably say, I mean, if I had to pick one, probably hardest one would probably be that drill. But I don't even know if I can say it's hard because it's fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it's healthy competition, but yeah.
Awesome. Next question is what has been the best road trip that you've been on here at Western?
Best road trip. Hmm. I I mean, I feel like the easy pick is our 10-day trip that we went on. I think that one was just so chaotic and
Really?
fun. I
That
mean,
day
we were
trip.
in like just went on a full loop. I think that one was a blast. I mean, yeah, I would definitely have to say that one. I think it was just a lot of fun and we went to a bunch of different states and spanned like 10 days and just a lot of bus time and kind of just seeing how we fared with each other on that. And best part I think was on the last day we were all talking about hanging out the next day. So I think that's kind of that's what stuck out the most was just the different hotel rooms and the different fields and teams that we played. I think it was just unique for me because every other preseason I've had, we've drove somewhere, went back home, drove somewhere, went back home, flown somewhere, went back home. So
Yeah.
it was like a new experience just saying, all right, we're going on a road trip and we're just gonna knock all these out and then we're gonna go home. So yeah, I'll definitely say that was the funnest one for me. Some girls might not agree because we were on a bus for 10 days, but yeah, I'll definitely say that our 10-day trip.
Next question for you is how do you feel like Western has helped you grow as a player and a person?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a player, Western has really shown me that like what my identity is as a softball player. Because I lost that. I lost sight of who that was and really it helped me regain my confidence back on even in those hard moments trying to fight through that. Yeah, I think it's just completely transformed me as a player. I wish I could have been under this environment for 4 years. I can't even imagine what kind of player I would be. But definitely as a player, it's helped me grow a lot and just kind of develop into a nice senior that I want to be that's ready to go and it's willing to throw themselves on the line for anything. Because I don't want to be a bitter senior, which I feel like it's pretty easy to do for a lot of people. And that was one thing just as a player, just wanting to leave some big shoes for the next person and have people say like, yeah, you got big shoes to fill when you come in and just kind of like leave a little bit of a legacy, even though I'm only here for a year.
And I think that that kind of shows you, or at least shows the fans, like what type of person you are. Like you're mature enough to be able to be like, it's not only about the here and now,
Yep,
but how we set up,
absolutely.
softball team for success for the future. I think that's huge. Like
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
hard to find that.
Absolutely. I mean, every single person that puts on this uniform leaves something behind, and I want to leave something good. I want people to be able to look back and say, hey, like, she pushed for this last year. Let's keep that rolling, and just within that area. But I mean, as a person, I think Western has completely helped me solidify just kind of that family aspect that I want, and looking out for people, even when I'm struggling or I'm having a bad day, still having the kind of courage to reach out and say, like, hey, how are you doing today? Which is something that I hadn't really done much in the past few years. I was a little bit too focused on me, I would say. And this year it really opened my eyes to be there for other people more than you're looking after yourself. Like, because I feel pretty good about who I am and what I'm going to do. And so really kind of stepping up and being that person that if someone needs something that you can call me or if there's a problem, like, hey, I'll be there.
Yeah,
And I think just kind of being that person who's going to stand up for what they believe in and be someone that can be there and make a difference. That's what I think.
that's awesome. Um, Next question for you is what is what's kind of what's your go-to song to get you hyped before a game or to get you like in the mode?
I really like Back in Black by AC/DC. Because my dad always had us listening to that kind of music. Yeah. I actually it's my one of my walk-up songs this year because my dad picked a few of them. So I mean, definitely that one. I like that kind of that rock. I think it's a nice
Yeah,
change because
classic rock.
absolutely because I'm kind of a country music girl on the side or some rap in
Really, there you
there.
go.
So it's just a nice change because I don't want to correlate my music with my certain like moods. I don't want country music to be centered around softball because
For
it's just
sure.
not relaxing
Yeah,
when I'm on a peaceful drive.
that's fair. That's a good point. Um, the next question for you is what's one word you would use to describe Western?
I would just, I would probably say inviting, I think.
Elaborate.
I think that stepping on campus, like everyone's just very welcoming. I mean, like our athletic training staff, our academic staff, I mean, coaches, players, other athletes. I think it's really inviting. I mean, we, our field's right by tennis's field. So sometimes we'll walk out and we'll say hi. And I mean, that quickly turned into a post practice, like, hey guys. And I mean, I love that. And just having the opportunity to build in those relationships. And so, yeah, it was just very inviting because some scenarios it's just not. And you don't exactly feel welcome right away. And you kind of have to let that grow in, which is normal, I would say. But it was just very open and kind of talking with girls saying like, oh yeah, we do this, whatever. And so I think it's just very inviting as a whole and just a very open mindseted kind of institution that just really is excited to have good people on campus.
For sure. That's one thing I think I love about Western is that cross sport intermingling.
Hmm.
Like it's not uncommon to see another sport team at your game. Like
Right. Yeah. I believe volleyball was at our game
yeah, yeah, yeah,
on Wednesday, so or excuse me, Tuesday. So I think that's awesome. I mean, just kind of that inner athlete just like appreciation is really good.
for sure. And so for you, you briefly touched base on it. But with this team, like you guys are all kind of interconnected. And so how
Yeah.
have you guys been able to make sure you function as one?
Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about um, just we have to be kind of like tough with each other, and it's take the message, not the tone, is kind of been something that's brought up a lot. I mean, because we have
I
a lot
love
of
that. I love
we have a,
that.
I agree. I think we have a lot of people who have a lot of really good input, but I mean, as someone kind of like me, I'm pretty monotone, so I really like that because I mean, and I think that just keeps it healthy, and we always try to reiterate like we love you, like you're a human being first, but like you got to fix it. And I mean, but yeah, I think it's kind of like that sisterly love. We've gotten to that point where we kind of go at each other like siblings, and I mean, I love it. I think it's awesome. I'm an instigator on a lot of those. But I think we just try to preach that we're in this together. We're one. It's not just one person going against another team. It's all of us. So and we're an army that way and just staying with each other even in the hard moments because it's hard to be happy for someone when you're struggling and just kind of preaching like regardless of how your day's going, you're still happy for someone else's success. And I think in the long run, if and in that's sticking with this kind of culture, I think this team will and just the teams in the future, like years, will have a lot of success.
That's awesome. With that being said, obviously with your role this season, you've been one of the stars on the team, one of those normal starters, kind of that leadership voice. And so, how has the season been for you personally?
I mean, I think it's been pretty good. I was kind of engulfed in statistics the past few years. I haven't really looked this year because I mean, as long as I'm contributing something to that team and us getting closer to our main goal, I mean, I really could care less what my
Yeah,
numbers look like. I mean, we have a lot of really good people. I mean, my role, I mean, I have a lot of really great hitters behind me and in front of me. So my job this year has been get on base, find a way on base. It doesn't matter how. That's been my kind of mindset. And I mean, having like people like Ruby Tar, Peyton Brown, Maria Luna behind me in the lineup, Sophia Sanchez. I mean, that in my head, I just get on base. They're gonna move you around. So I think my life's pretty easy. I would argue. I mean, just coming up in big moments and trying to make a difference. So I mean, yeah, I would say we have a lot of really good. We have a lot of good, and I mean, my season's been it's been pretty normal. I would say I feel like I'm doing my job, which is that's what I came in here to do. I didn't come in saying I want to get this and I want to get this. I came in saying I want to make a difference. And I mean, yeah, just be on base for the people who are gonna go hit the long ball and do all the hard stuff. So yeah,
for sure. And one thing I love that you brought up is just like it's at the end of the day, like sometimes people get engulfed in those
yeah,
stats, and just like it's I'm
yeah,
my batting average is whatever or so on and so forth. But it's a team sport at the end of the day.
absolutely.
Like on to the next man up,
Yeah,
And so I think that's something that's an awesome mentality to have as a team. Like, hey, we're here to do it together. We're here to
absolutely.
to work it. And so, next question is like, what's one? Obviously, you still have a lot of softball, or a couple games to be played left.
Yeah.
But what's one moment in this season that you're gonna remember?
I think there's a lot of really good highlight moments. I mean, probably one of my favorites was when we went on a run in early season and we just put I think we put up like over like I think we had like 20 runs put up. And I think that was just a moment where it was like we can do this. And there was a game around there too where we came back from a really like big deficit and we fought back and ended up winning the game. And I think that was huge for us. I mean, because that shows us now as we're later in the season where everyone's mentally tired, they're physically tired. I think that the moment can be looked back on and say, hey, look at what we did. We did that. And I mean, those are just team wins. Those are wins where it's not just up to one hit. That was where top to bottom we hit through, we played D, like everyone worked together. So I would say those moments stick with me the most because at the end of the day, that's what counts the most is when we can work as a full functioning unit. And so those kinds of games where we fight till the end and we come back and we put up a good like we make it a good game. I think those are the ones that really stick with me because that just shows that we have it like we can.
For sure. Like hearing all your answers, honestly, like if I'm a coach, I'm like, oh, this is gold. Like this is amazing. Which brings me to this point with when I was talking to Coach Goller, she brought up we were talking about you a little bit and she was like, oh yeah, like she's second to none. Like she's awesome. She's on the ball. And so hearing that, how does that kind of make you feel as a player?
Yeah, I mean, that makes me feel great. I told Coach Goler, I was like, I want to make a difference. I want to be someone that these girls can look up to in a crisis or in a really good moment. Um, Someone would probably say I'm a little bit I'm like a younger sister kind of vibe because I'm a pretty I don't know what the correct word would be, but I like to pick on them a lot. They've started to pick back, which I appreciate. But
Sibling rivalry.
absolutely, I'm definitely an instigator. The younger sibling in me really comes out with them. But I mean, on the field, I'm pretty business coded. I want to get it done. Like, let's win. Like, we've worked our butts off all week. We've worked our butts off all year. Like, let's get it. Um, but yeah, I mean, that makes me feel great. I mean, not once here have I felt like I'm not good enough in really any aspect. Just as a person player, it's like you're working hard, like it'll happen, like keep going. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I just like in the dugout trying to I preach the 30-second rule. You make a mistake, you got 30 seconds. Lily holds me to that. She'll stand there and count sometimes, which I think is awesome. I think it's great. So I mean, just kind of bringing that energy too. Trying to keep the energy up, which lose my voice sometimes a little bit, but I mean, just being that person. I mean, because every team needs someone to just keep the energy flowing because it gets hard the longer you're in the season and the longer you've been playing. So, I mean, yeah, that makes me feel great. I That's the legacy I want to leave as a player. I could care less if they say, "Oh, Cam was a great shortstop." I want to hear Cam was a great person to be around, and I just want to hear that I was someone that they could look up to
Yeah.
while I was here.
That's fair. For you, obviously, we've talked a lot about this team, and we've talked about how you guys are a unit and
Yeah,
just like that sibling rivalry,
yeah.
if you will. And so, at the end of the day, what's special about this team?
I think this team's really gritty. Like when it comes out, I think we're tough to play. I really do. I think when we realize what our identity is and realize what we can do, I think we're a tough team. And I would say we're very gritty. I think we kind of adapt that kind of blue collar mindset that we're not guaranteed anything and nothing's going to be handed to us. Obviously, moments that doesn't fall in our favor, but I think this team just it really comes together and it's kind of like a like a one-minded goal with it. We all want the same thing. We want to succeed, and I think that's really what's gotten us to this point. And I think that'll help us in the last few games we have in regular season. And I think that's just something that like money can't buy. Again, I think because we're getting to the point in the year where everyone's starting to get a little bit frustrated, like it's not going how it should in their head. And I really don't think anyone has turned that into anything negative. And I think that's huge. So I think what's best is that we've kept that kind of relationship where we all care for each other on a deep level and even through struggles. And we're still just the same team that was having fun in the fall and just getting to know each other. I think that's our biggest thing is that we're gritty and we know what we can do and we just need to hone in and say like, yeah, we're gonna do it. Let's go.
Awesome. Um, for you, I love that you're just like so team minded. So obviously, people are gonna be watching this and kind of getting to know you a little bit more. But I think one thing, what is a message you would share for, let's say your teammates are listening to this? What's a message you would share to them?
I mean, I'm just thankful for them. I 10 times out of 10, I would pick this team. If someone came up to me later today and said, "All right, you can come play for this team. You have to leave yours." I would say no every time. I mean, this team has changed me. They've healed pieces of me I didn't think I would be able to heal from some previous years, and I mean, they mean the world to me. I'm extremely excited to finish out this year with them, and I'm just proud of them. I think throughout all of it, I think they've worked hard, and I've seen it every day. And I mean, yeah, I mean, I love this team to death. When someone asks me about my college career, I'll talk about Western first. And that's not just because it's the last team I'm going to be on. It's because this team will always hold a very special place in my heart. And no, I absolutely love them to death. I mean, even when they do make fun of me for little things I do. But yeah, I mean, this team absolutely changed me and they helped heal pieces of me that I don't think they realized.
Awesome. Well, Cam, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today and get to know you a little bit better. The last question we have for you, and for this question, we'll have you look at the camera. But the last question is, what message do you have for all the Leatherneck fans that have been following, both Leatherneck softball and Leatherneck athletics this season?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to say thank you to the fans. I mean, it's a hard journey and it's we just appreciate you being here and walking through it with us. And I mean, it's just something special. And I mean, having that sense of community is something you can't buy. So thank you. Hoorah.
Heck yeah, hoorah! Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Episodes coming bi-weekly, but thank you so much again for being with us today.
Thank you.